Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Xavier Rodriguez with Triance, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. I have the pleasure of speaking again with Kirsten Moody, Chief Data Officer at Prudential Financial. Kirsten is responsible for Prudential's enterprise data and analytics function, including the enterprise data strategy, data management and governance, data and modeling platforms, master data management, and analytics. Thanks again for speaking with me, Kirsten.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Let's talk about the million-dollar question that can mean success or failure for an enterprise's data organization. How to ensure that the data science initiatives are tied to business strategy. Are there habits or tactics that you have adopted or developed to deliver outstanding value and results to the business, especially in alignment with mission-critical initiatives?
Absolutely. I think there are two key points that are part of the magic of making sure that data science initiatives are tied to and are demonstrating their effectiveness in helping to deliver on business strategy. So the first is the operating model within the Chief Data Office itself. So the hub and spoke operating model, I think, is absolutely critical, where the hub teams are working on those enabling platforms that are helping to make data more immediately available in a trusted and quality way, and that are providing a housing for the AI ML models that have rapid self-service deployment features that allow for the models to be governed and well managed. Those hub teams are working hand in glove with the spoke teams in the operating model. And the spoke teams are embedded within the business, and they are working shoulder to shoulder with business and other technology partners to ensure alignment of the data science, of the AI work to the business strategy, and that the outcomes of the data science work or the AI work are delivering for the business. So you can understand how to measure, and that we are observing a change in those measurements in the direction that we would expect as a result of the work being deployed. So the operating model using hub and spoke principles, I think, is absolutely critical. The second piece is the adoption of agile methodology. So this is a methodology working with the product owner concepts, working with the agile delivery methodology concepts that allows for product ownership within the business to help in the development of the particular use cases and to help lead the way in the business change management for the successful adoption of the data science initiatives. And the agile methodology, I think, is a very clear and necessary way of working to make sure that data science is in clear alignment, not only with business priorities, but is also adaptable to the changing business priorities. So as you are putting together the team, as you are sort of bringing data science into the forefront, my advice would be to pay careful attention to the operating model selection that you have, and how you effectively operationalize that operating model, if I can use that phrase, and then the ways of working using agile, using product management principles or other types of approaches that allow you into the business case and into the change management needs for adoption. I think are the two key pillars for having that successful alignment, not only on day one, but over time. So as the data science work becomes more normalized and expected, do we have the right mechanisms that we've institutionalized to make sure that alignment is maintained over time?
Absolutely. And how can we not talk about AI and artificial intelligence? So as exciting as it is to all of us who work with data, there are some serious ethical issues that leaders like you will likely have to grapple with for some time. These include issues of privacy and surveillance, and of course, bias. What's your take on the many tough issues that CDOs like yourself must navigate? Is there one easy answer to ethics and AI, or will businesses and governments be untangling this one for some time to come?
Absolutely. So, unfortunately, there is no easy answer. And this is a topic that absolutely requires ongoing, close attention in partnership with legal teams, business teams, privacy offices, ethical offices. However, your particular organization works through topics of legal and regulatory compliance, ethical issues, privacy issues, and so forth. It's very clear that the global laws and regulations are evolving, consumer expectations are evolving, and to keep pace with that and to the extent possible to even be ahead of it, I think the best answer for today is what is the framework that we're bringing into the organization for responsible use of AI. So that way the solutions are validated against that framework, and we understand how to evolve from an enterprise perspective by evolving the framework. That framework needs to look at both what we build as well as what we buy. And the buy side is a very interesting topic in the sense that the intellectual property that is being purchased is potentially not available for the same level of scrutiny or inspection as what would be built in-house. So the validation and verification of that is typically on more of an outcomes basis versus on how it was originally generated. So the framework for responsible uses of AI needs to think about those two inbound channels to the organization, the build side and the buy side, I think with equal scrutiny, but yet the approaches will be different given, sort of the obvious differences of what you're building and what you're buying. That framework, very strongly believe, needs to be cross-functionally led with business partners, privacy legal offices, CISO technology, peer colleagues, as well as the CDO, so that it can be, the framework itself can be cross-functionally owned, and it can be evolved as the different parts of this landscape are subject to change. So we'll see changes coming out of a legal landscape, for example, that technology and data colleagues need to understand and how they would provide input in how to evolve that framework. And then the framework is really overlaid into the hub and to other parts of the organization where AI is used to the extent possible. So that way, we are really building into the platforms as best as we can the automation for how to scale that framework efficiently. So, and then if I had a wish list, it would be to work more aggressively with the major cloud service providers in how they build ethical and responsible governance of AI into their platforms as native services. So by using those platforms from the cloud service providers, I have access into that type of scaled functionality immediately.
Got it. Absolutely, and very relevant and important topic of the day. And going right to the source and taking care of it is what the best. I always like to hear how others stay current with the latest innovations and offerings, especially regarding cloud data providers and analytics platforms. So what are you looking for out on the horizon, and what types of innovations are catching your eye?
Yeah. So when I think about innovation, I go to those innovations that are pushing the boundaries of what is known or possible today. So we partner closely with an emerging technology group that we have within global technology at Prudential. And together we're looking at a variety of topics. Quantum computing is one that I've been following for the past few years and continue to follow the emergence of that, in particular its effect on information security and how we think about privacy and ethical uses of data potentially. With that, computer vision techniques are always of interest, how NLP is potentially evolving. These are all topics of active interest where the innovation that we're seeing that isn't quite yet commercially scalable is something that we're paying pretty close attention to. For innovations that are more, and I mean this with all due respect, more incremental. So it's a topic that is a known quantity today, and we see what is a compelling evolution of that topic. We actually work with that through the agile teams that we have and the roadmaps that we have established for those areas, those product areas that we have defined within the CDO. So that's kind of how we think about sort of the boundary pushing innovation that needs its particular scrutiny as a topic, and then the innovation that represents an evolution to a known quantity or a known technique. We work with within the construct of the agile teams themselves.
Thank you. As a leader, can you talk about the importance you place on people development and your stated commitment to diversity and inclusion?
Yes, absolutely. So this is a topic where I'm just so pleased and honored to work with Prudential. So I'm very fortunate that Prudential as an enterprise has given a tremendous amount of careful thought into how each of us can contribute to meaningful progress to advance diversity and inclusion. We have a racial equity task force. We have an inclusive solutions partners, and they have helped us as an enterprise to identify commitments that we believe will make a difference in diversity and inclusion, both within as well as outside of Prudential. So examples of these commitments include how we take action for the people, the employees who work for Prudential today. So this is looking at talent practices and how we hire, how we promote, how we performance manage, develop, and compensate to really ensure that we have equal opportunities for all employees. How we think about taking action from within the business. So what does it mean to embed equity into the design and delivery of Prudential's products, the services, and the operations that we have. And then both in society. So how do we take action within society on topics such as advocacy for racial justice? So very fortunate as a leader within Prudential to have the broader Prudential ecosystem helping to define that direction and giving the framework and the mechanisms that as a leader I can deploy within my department to really help bring to life within the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you used the right statement there, bring to life. So it's very nice to see all of that coming together. Yeah. And finally, do you have any tips for someone deciding on a career in data analytics or looking to take their career to the next level?
Absolutely. So I think for somebody who's looking to take their career to the next level, continuous learning and development is absolutely essential there. So take advantage of coursework that might be available within your company. Invest in your career by attending conferences, the networking, give presentations. It's a fantastic way to learn. To force yourself to give a public presentation and share your thoughts with an audience. Mentorship is absolutely vital. So, and there's no reason to only have one. I actually have many mentors today, people who I trust implicitly and who have given me invaluable advice over the years of my career. They know me, they know the space in which I operate, and have been vital sounding boards as I have had to make decisions or have needed to think through hard topics along the way. And then I think, if I go back to sort of reflecting on my earliest days of working, when I very much felt that I was in the deep end and working through a pretty aggressive learning curve, transitioning from studying the social science of economics into a technical field with programming and systems development. I would say volunteer for the hard work or the impossible problem. And the day job is going to be a very important catalyst to help you expand your thinking and push yourself into new directions. So a lot of opportunity can be found in the deep end. And to the extent that you can manage the discomfort, I would advise to throw yourself into it. And I think you'll be very surprised at how much and how quickly you learn and what you can accomplish. So that would be my advice.
Absolutely. Well said. And I absolutely agree in that volunteering for the hard work. I think that has shaped quite a bit on my end as well. So thank you for that. Well, that's about all the time we have. I'd like to thank my guest, Cherson Moody, Chief Data Officer at Prudential Financial. Thank you so much for your time today, Cherson.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
Please visit CDO Magazine Tech for additional interviews.